Fallout 76 is a game that, if you clicked on this video, you've probably heard of, or rather, the tremendous disappointment it turned out to be. So today, I'll be discussing what Fallout 76 could have been if they hadn't removed NPCs, which is the main reason it was such a disappointment in the first place. Now, before I start the video, I would like to get a few things out of the way. Firstly, this is my first attempt at a video like this, so it would be great if you guys tell me whether you like this kind of video or not, and what I did wrong could have done better. Secondly, I know that there is a video called What Fallout 76 Should Have Been by an account named Fudge Muppet, and I didn't actually know about that until this project had started, but I decided to continue making this video because mine is a bit different, and I'll explain why soon. So now that that's out of the way, what do I mean by my opening statements? Well, as a little backstory for anyone who's been hiding under a rock for the past year, Fallout 76 on release had 0 human NPCs, and the main story elements the Fallout games are known for were absent as well, with the story in the game just being given to you from various recordings, terminal entries, and robots/AI. But it wasn't always meant to be this way. From the start, the team working on Fallout 76 was making a game like any other Fallout. However, as far as I can tell, the decision to make it online was there from the start, but the one to remove the NPCs wasn't made until somewhat into the development of the game. This removal of NPCs becomes a lot more apparent when you actually look closer at the smaller stories told in Fallout 76. From these stories, it seems like Fallout 76 could have had a great narrative. I mean, they said only a few years after the Great War, so basically everyone you would have interacted with would have lived in pre-war America. And a lot of the technology would still be in pretty good condition, which would dramatically change the kind of experience you get from a Fallout game. I also think that Appalachia is a much more interesting setting than Fallout 4's Boston. Now this is where my video will differ from Fudge Muppets, because where they were describing their ideal Fallout 76 set around the time of Fallout 2, I will be trying to identify the stories if Fallout 76 is mostly just the same game, but instead of launch they had the NPCs and the decisive narrative of the previous iterations. And I'll try my best to incorporate online into my claims, but I probably won't be focusing very much on it. Therefore, I think the best way to look at this would be to start from the start and go through the story as you would experience it in-game. Act 1. You start the game off normally, you create your character and choose your special attributes, as well as something new. Fallout 76, since it's set so soon after the Great War, your character would have had a normal job before the war. So now, you get to pick what that job was. And these previous jobs will act somewhat like traits, but they won't negatively affect your character. These previous jobs will also affect how various factions view you, as well as how specific people view you. There's 4 jobs to choose from, and each of them are balanced to give faction reputation based on the bonuses they give you. So the jobs are as follows. Doctor gives you a special bonus of +1 intelligence and +1 perception. Gives you the perk Medical Expertise. Chems are 10% more effective. And how the factions view you: the Responders positive, Free States positive, Brotherhood positive, and Enclave negative. Then the Survivalist will give you a special of +1 perception and +1 agility. The perks are Endured Stomach, Hunger and Thirst decay 10% slower, and Hunter, deal 10% extra damage to critters. The factions are Responders are neutral, Free States positive, Brotherhood neutral, Enclave negative. Soldier, special, +1 strength, +1 endurance. Perks, Gunslinger, reload range weapons 10% faster. Trained Killer, 10% more accuracy with range weapons. Factions, Responders neutral, Free States negative, Brotherhood positive, Enclave positive. Senator, special, +1 charisma, +1 luck. Perks, VIP, receive 10% less damage while with a companion. Factions, Responders neutral, Free States negative, Brotherhood negative, Enclave positive. For this to work, the faction system would need to be more like New Vegas, and there would also need to be a hunger and thirst meter in the regular mode, which would actually work pretty well in Appalachia. Now back to the main story. After deciding which job you had, you then receive the basic tutorials on how to use your gear from human NPCs, and they brief you that your mission is to contact the Overseer who went to quotation marks scout out the regions of Appalachia and hasn't reported back yet. Finally, you leave the vault and step out into 2082 West Virginia. Why 2082? Because there are specific events that can't be moved to a later date, and the vault opening is easy to change without many repercussions. Then, after stepping out into the world, you receive your first quest, to head to the first possible rendezvous point. You walk down the stairs from the vault and encounter some liberators, as you would normally, and head through the forest until you come to Point Pleasant. Now, since crudely built wooden walls surround the town, your quest updates to find a way into the town. So you head around to the road entrance, where you see the first faction you'll interact with, the Responders. There seems to be only 4 of them, so you talk to the one with the quest marker. He says he's Sergeant Anderson. Him and his team were sent to clear out the pests from this town so it could be settled. You say that you have to get inside the town. He then tells you that he's already lost 3 men to the creatures in there, and that if you could clear them out, he would gladly pay you. So you accept and enter the town. As Anderson said, it's swarming with ginormous ticks. Then after killing all of them, you tell Anderson then he pays you and he starts setting up communications equipment. You head up to the roof where the rendezvous point is and find a holotape the Overseer left. Your interactions with the Overseer will be pretty much the same in the way that you're just following a trail, but the holotape will provide you with less information and act more like scout reports. Like with this holotape, it would just mention that she's heading to Flatwoods, where there's more responders. And with that being said, you head to Flatwoods to find more information on what the Overseer was doing. Once you get near Flatwoods, you see a rundown cabin, then your quest updates to search the cabin. You enter the cabin and find an Overseer cache and a holotape. The holotape says that the Overseer needs to get access to the Responder's network, but she didn't say why. So you have to follow her trail into Flatwoods, but before you can enter the town, you're greeted by 2 guards who ask what you want. You say that you need to enter the town, and they tell you that there were dozens of people wounded in the last raider attack, and they don't have the manpower to worry about anyone else wandering around the town. This is where your job can help you, because if you chose doctor, then you can tell the guard that you're a doctor and show him your medical license. Or you can talk with him and he'll say if you can deal with the raiders that have been attacking them, you can come in. He tells you that they're held up at Cowspot Creamery. So in typical Fallout fashion, you head there, kill everything, and head back. After doing either of these things, you are led into Flatwoods. So that's the end. Obviously, this is just part 1 of many. How many, I'm not sure, because I haven't written them yet. I hope I can write them fast enough to keep a consistent release, though. But on that matter, I am wondering if I should just continue with this series or I should do some other Fallout ideas. Because I do have a few. I mean, would it be better if I continue with this series or if I, say, release one of this series, then do a random topic, then back to this series, then random topic, and so on like that? I mean, which one do you guys think would be better? Just comment. And the Modern Warfare videos about them, I just make them when I get an idea. I don't plan them. I mean, I probably will be making some for the next season. If you didn't know, the new season of Modern Warfare is coming out on the 3rd of December. So there should be some more videos about that then, but otherwise, I'll probably have another Fallout video up next week. So just wait for that. And if you like this one, like and subscribe, please. Bye.